Hello and welcome to our first look at FM23 Mobile with me, Daniel. We are here today to take on Luton Town, not for a series of any kind, but just have a little run around the mobile game, all the key areas, see how they work, get into our first fixture and see what the match engine's like, as we do every other year. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. Let me know your thoughts if you've got the mobile game already down in the comments. If you're looking forward to this one, do like and subscribe. We've got daily FM23 videos from 2 long-term stories. That's from the full game, of course. But today, the focus is all on mobile. A transfer budget with Luton Town of 3.1 million and 24 grand remaining wages. I'm already alarmed. Where on earth has that come from? We've got Morecambe tomorrow in a friendly, but definitely some lack of realism on finances. And traditionally, this has always been my problem with the mobile game, is that it's ended up going into a farce in the transfer window, which I guess for a little mobile game isn't a problem, but if you're trying to play the game realistically or you're a classic player, can be a bit of an issue. But hopefully it'll be good because it's a good filler on the train. So let's go to our inbox and look at the first few items. Chris Cohen, you'll have to excuse my floating hand as well. Chris Cohen has welcomed us to the team. Do we want to have a look at the report? Yes, we do. We have a good group of players willing to work hard for each other. That's true. And Luton might need a manager in a couple of days as I'm recording this, so good time to take them on. Morale is good amongst players. Good depth in centre midfield, centre half and the right wing, and great depth up front. Well, we generally play a quite narrow tactic by wing back, so that makes sense. Let's go back again. Let's see what the dynamics are like. Trying to remember if they were in FM22, but professionalism isn't great. That seems a little bit off. Loyalty's not great, but morale, determination and work rate are excellent. Okay, that's not a bad sign at all. Let's move over to the start of season expectations. Safe mid-table, 3.17 million. I mean, seriously, that is huge. Let's go to the next one. Fan favourites, Pelly Ruddock, Elijah Adebayo, Alan Campbell. Can't argue with that. Next one. FM to appoint new club captain. I'm going to keep it exactly as it is. I haven't said there's any reason to change. So let's select our captain. We're happy with them. We're not going to move it at all. Let's see what the last message is. Upcoming friendly information. Okay, that's fine. Let's go and get to the squad and see if we can have a little look at that. So the first team, this is what it's like at the moment. So this screen looks identical to last year. There's definitely no change on the interface front for this. Let's just bring up a couple of players as an example. So Elijah Adebayo, star striker, 16 shooting. So something again that always crops up here is where it's like a combination of 2 or 3 stats from the main game. You end up with different ratings in the key areas. So Adebayo is a 16 for shooting. The physical stats are largely the same. And of course, it's the same little group of attributes rather than the full lot you get in the full game. But a key player looks pretty good. Worth 8.75 million. We'll certainly take that. Let's get on to Alan Campbell as well. Another key player. Very similar stats to the real game here. Big value again. Again, they've got these little gold stars if they're one of the 3-star players, whereas the other players in the squad, if we pick out another one, Luke Freeman, for example, they just have the sort of normal picture and then the purple banner that goes with the FM style. He's not very good, actually. It just doesn't show up some of his key strengths, so maybe the mobile game's done him a little bit. But overall, it looks exactly the same from that front. Let's see if the tactics is any different. It's fairly easy to navigate and get around. You can see that for now. So we have to create one at the start. Tactical start, formation and player roles. Right, okay. So let's set up the Luton tactic from real life, shall we? They play... Generally, they do play a bit route 1 on the counter. It's more a direct counter attack, but we'll do this for now just because it's recommending it. So we want to go... Now, the back 5 tactics have changed this year. It's this one. 5-1-2-2. Choose tactical style. So this is the setup, generally speaking. So it's picked a team for us automatically, which isn't too bad, but I'd probably rather it be a little bit different. We more play with 2 target men in real life. Overall, though, we can set up the tactic. I can't see that it looks any different. Even if I go through now and try and change a midfield role, yeah, it's exactly the same as last year there. So there's nothing too different on that front. I'm just going to have a look at making an offer for a player as well. If we go through... Have a look at some of the manager stuff. I want to see what's really changed because a lot of the talk was about more realistic transfers, but none of the headline features other than the UEFA licence really highlighted anything in particular that had upgraded in the game. We might as well go and do our classic for the year, which is request a board request and get rejected for it. So let's try and do improved training facilities. Not prepared to do it at the current time. There you go. So that's an automatic rejection as normal. Let's see if we can go and get any transfers sorted out, shall we? So these are our current scout results, players that the club have already looked at. And I can see a few familiar names in there, of course. They're recommending a goalkeeper. The first choice is on loan at the minute. They're recommending a defender in Joel Ward. And of course, these people would use up our budget. But let's have a look and see if we can get any of them. Joel Ward is 32 years of age, 3-star ability, 40 grand a week. My words. You saw what some of our players are on. We ain't getting him. What about Matt Ryan at Copenhagen? He's on 10 grand a week. That might be a bit more realistic. So let's just make an offer. The values do look a little more normal this year, but we'll suggest those terms and see what happens. They want 5 million quid. Okay, so clubs are actually asking for serious value this year, so that's definitely different. That's the one thing that I will be keeping an eye on over the years and updating you as we go along, because that's the thing that's always been the game breaker for me in a long-term save. But for now, let's go and have a look at our staff if we haven't done that already, see what level we've got here, and then we'll go and get straight through to our first friendly. So we've got Chris Cohen, Paul Hart, Alan Sheehan, Mick Harford and another scout as well. And then we've got 2 physios at the club too. So pretty strong standard. Mick Harford being rated as bronze seems a little bit harsh, but all of the coach is silver and the physio is gold. Let's go and have a look at the finances. Spending 24k a week under your overall wage budget. Happy to adjust budgets as you desire. We're not going to worry and we are going to go and get through to the first match. Well, gotta say, it's processed fairly quickly, and we've got a weird message here that's given guidance to referees for the upcoming season, reminding them that contact is an acceptable part of football, and contact alone doesn't mean there's a foul. Oh, I like that. That's an interesting little message. Let's go and get through to the team selection, shall we? Although there are a number of changes I would make in real life, I just want to go and see the match engine, so for now, we're going to proceed with the 11 they've picked. Everyone's in a normal position, so it's not a disaster. Let's see what this is like. Let's get the settings up for the match engine as well. So, fast match speed, pitch and commentary. Let's see if there's any big improvements as we press play. So, nearly 20 minutes gone. Nothing happening so far. A couple of little bits of commentary, but no highlight until yet. As a free kick goes over the bar from Morecambe. We're still on the original old 2D. And it looks like it runs pretty smoothly here, and my phone is rubbish, let's be fair. It's about 50 quid new, it's at least 4 or 5 years old, and it's running it very smoothly, very comfortably. A bit worried about Luton's performance here against a Morecambe side from the division below. Let's go and get to our tactics, see if we can change any of the team. Adebayo was one of our stars, so let's get him in for Carlton Morris up front. We're also going to bring Bell on for Doughty on the left, because I prefer him as a wing-back anyway. And who can we do in midfield? Anyone worth changing yet? I'm not so sure. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll drop Pelly in for Ray. We'll swap Ray and Campbell. And then on the left side, we'll go for Luke Freeman, who's a bit more of a creative spark. 3 changes made. Excuse the finger again. Let's get into the second half. Can we create a chance at least? Well, it's not going to be a great review of the match engine if we don't create any chances, because all we're seeing is little Morecambe highlights. And I've got to say, it runs smoothly. It looks all right, but this is a big problem for us because performance-wise, against a lower League One side, we are struggling a lot. And again, gifting another chance with some defensive errors. But overall, it runs really smoothly and I could see myself getting into this. As long as the match engine is okay, I wouldn't have a problem. But I will keep an eye as well in future games on the scores because 0-0, not a lot happening there. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do? Because that game was a nothing one, I'm going to go and play one more because I want to see if we're going to get more chances. Is it a problem in this year's game that there's going to be next to no goals, or have I just got unlucky first time out? Let's go and find out. Skip to the second one. We'll be back in a minute for it. Well, on a quick side note, we've had the first loan offer for one of our players, which looks identical to last year yet again. So I can't actually see, other than a database update and maybe a slight smoothing of the match engine, what's really changed here, to be honest. He recommends placing young Callum Nicholson on the loan list. So we're getting a few more bits of advice from staff, which is great. So we'll list him for loan as recommended. Be nice if there was just a tick button to do it. But overall, I'm not blown away by differences here. However, if the transfer window's more realistic, I'll forgive it for all of that. Well, our first transfer offer for a first team player, and it's on the money. So players being offered their value as a first offer, I guess maybe you can't complain. 1.1 million though for a 23-year-old who's got potential at championship level. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to try and get it up to 2.5 million and we'll see what they do with it. So to be fair, they've come up to 1.5. Let's go to 2 million. I just want to see how it works, to be honest. 1.6. And it's got a nice little timeline below of what's going on at the minute. So we'll go for 1.9 and they've accepted that. So 1.9 million, we've accepted our first offer. We've also loaned out a youngster to Peterborough Sports. Those of you that watched yesterday's head coach will know why I mentioned that. I'm not going to loan list another player in this one. Let's just get ahead to this match tonight. Well, I attended the World Cup draw, which looked quite nice, and now we're back for the glamorous tie against Cheltenham. Let's go and get straight into it with the same 11 again. I just want to see if we get a little bit more match action, because if it's another 0-0, I might start to worry. Let's go and get through the first half. Fingers crossed. Well, not a lot so far. We come back. It's a little bit weird with the highlights this year. They're coming back as the highlights are finishing almost. The corner's fully shown there. That's fine. But the first one, it came back as the keeper was saving it, which just seemed a little bit odd. Free kick awarded to Cheltenham. There's a little bit more action in this one, and maybe us going forward a little more, but still not a huge amount. A half-time, 0-0, one shot on target. It does seem a little bit off. I don't know if it's just me getting bad luck here or the tactic that we've picked, whatever, but it does seem strange as it's a slice clearance from Bradley into the box. Matt Macy deals with it well, and now we've got a free kick. Pelly Rudder-Kampanzu puts it over. Oh, there's not going to be a goal, is there? Imagine 2 0-0s in a row. If you are playing the mobile game and you do it regularly, let me know as you go along whether there's goals or not, because this seems to be every chance missing, and they all seem to be going over the bar as well. There's not really a variation. I'm not sure if we've seen a save yet. Maybe one, just from that first shot. And that's it. It's 0-0 again. I don't know if it's the team or tactic, but that is a concern for me that both games were 0-0. Whether or not that's luck of the draw, you'll have to let me know, and I'll keep you updated as I go along. But from an initial viewpoint, that's my big worry. The transfers do seem a little better. The offers are a little more realistic, and hopefully we'll see a better transfer window as a result. But the friendlies, 2 0-0s, not really any chances at all. That is a big problem for me. But let's go through to the inbox again, just in case there's anything of excitement. I don't think there will be. Lots of 7s for strikers as well, despite no shots on target. Does seem a little bit odd. Let's have a look at the inbox. Cheltenham hold out for a draw. Bree put in a spirited performance, but not much going on. Match action, hard to come by. And I hope that it was just tactics or luck. But I'll let you know as I go on whether or not that remains the case. You let me know if you found the same in your mobile save. If you did enjoy this little first look though, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. I mean, overall, I can't honestly say there's loads of new features that mean you should get it. It's a little cleaner, it's a little slicker. The transfers seem early on a little more realistic. The draws have had the little reboot that they've had in a full game, although not to the same extent. But the match engine's a concern for me, and that might be completely unfounded in a moment, so I do apologise if that's the case. If you want to stay up to date with the rest of the channel though, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We've got 2 long-term stories rotating every day, and you can find those playlists up in the eye above. There's also the Twitch channel where we have regular live streams and much, much more. And then all the other links you may need are down in the description. But thank you for the incredible support the last few weeks. I hope you enjoy FM23 and FM23 Mobile or Touch, whichever one you end up getting. But I'll see you again this afternoon for the latest episode of our One Club story. And hopefully you'll come and join me for it. Thanks for watching. I'll put the head coach playlist above my head now. And I'll see you here again next time.